Welcome back to Kim J's Sweet Healthy Life. I'm Kim J, and I thank you for coming over to be with me today. If you haven't seen my first and second video, go check it out after this video here. So, I have some tea for you all today, but that tea is not probably what you're thinking. It's tea about me. If y'all saw my first and second video, you know I'm on a weight loss journey and you know why. But let me just give you a little brief on it. I'm on a weight loss journey to actually combat obesity as well as type 2 diabetes. I also told you I was committed. Now, I'm going to tell you why I say I'm committed. I'm committed this time. Now, prior years, when I've been on a weight loss journey before, I never stuck to it for various reasons. But this time, when I found out I had diabetes, it was a wake-up call for me. I decided I had to do something. I could no longer keep going like I was going and think I'm going to live a very, very long life. And Kim wants to live a long and prosperous life. And I really hope that for you all too. So that's why on video 2 I asked you all, were you committed? Because that's what it's going to take for us to do this thing and do it right so that we can live long as well as prosperous, right? July 2024, actually July 3rd, I found out that I had diabetes. My A1C was a 15.1. That was off the charts. Now, when it comes to the charts, the doctors have a chart wherein it tells you, whether you're in the normal range, if you're pre-diabetic as well as diabetic. Now, the normal range is actually anything 5.6 or under, right? And that's I'm talking about your A1C. You're considered a pre-diabetic patient if you're between a 5.7 to a 6.4. If your A1C is 6.5 or above, then you're considered a diabetic. So the actual chart goes up to a 10. Anything over a 10 is actually considered dangerously high. Mind you, mine was at 15.1. So I had to have done something. I needed to do something. And I needed to do it fast, right? So I actually prayed about the thing. I had to pray about that because I needed my higher power, which is God, to help me through this journey, right? So I prayed, I put my faith with it, and I know He heard my prayer. He heard my cry because I started immediately thinking of the things that I needed to do to help me on this journey. I did some research about it. I had already talked to a dietitian and she gave me some information on how I can change my eating. And, I decided I'm going to go on a very strict low carb diet. Now, everybody that's diagnosed with diabetes does not do this. It sometimes takes a while for people's mindset to shift. And sometimes people still just eat whatever they want to eat and take, their medications. But I decided I did not want to do that. I actually want to take the medications as long as I had to, but I want to get off of the medications, or so many of them at least. So my doctor actually had to put me on 2 insulins, right? One is a fast-acting insulin and one a slow-acting insulin. Now, I took my fast-acting insulin before every meal. And then I took my slow-acting insulin right before bedtime. She also wanted to put me on a pill, but I did not want to get on the pill that she was telling me about. And I actually didn't want to get on the insulin. I asked her, could I get on Jardiance, which is a pill? But she said, no, baby, you have to get on insulin because your sugar is dangerously high. So I said, well, can I get on Mounjaro as well with the insulin? And she said that was okay and approved it, and she put my prescriptions in. Now, the reason why I asked her for Mounjaro is because I had heard some things about it, and it's an A1C lowering medicine, and that's what it actually was created for, right? But there was a side effect that I heard about that could benefit me. Now, that side effect was that there was a possibility that I could lose weight as well if I was on Mounjaro. So you talking lower my A1C and glucose, as well as lower my weight? Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Sign me up immediately, right? But I couldn't just do the Mounjaro only at the time. They wanted me to do the insulin too. That's how you quickly get that A1C down, right? Mounjaro is going to take a little time, which is understandable. Now, Mounjaro is an injection that you will inject in either your stomach, your arm, or your legs. And you do it once a week. So that was another win for me, because I'm like, okay, that's once a week versus, having to take a pill every day, right? Especially when I was already having to take insulin shots 3-4 times a day. So, like I said, my A1C 15.1, and that was actually July 3rd of 2024. By the time I got back to my doctor, July 29th, y'all, my A1C had gone down almost 3 points. My A1C was a 12.6. That's unlikely, but it happened. That's another reason why I knew God was helping me out with this. My prayer had been answered. So I wasn't out of the danger zone yet, right? Because remember I told you anything over 10 was dangerous. But my doctor told me, keep up the good work. What you're doing is working. So I was so happy. She was happy. I was happy. My family was happy, of course. And so she had already asked me before I went back to the doctor on the 29th to go see an endocrinologist, because the endocrinologist is a specialist that actually helps manage diabetes. Now, mind you, I had not gotten my Mounjaro yet because, as you know, there were shortages in 2024, as well as you have to go through a pre-authorization. So my doctor had to send information to my insurance company, and my insurance company may have had to talk to my doctor back and forth. Who knows? But whatever the case may be, I didn't actually get my Mounjaro until July 30th, which is the day that I went to my endocrinology appointment. Now, a couple months before then, I found out on my regular scale at home that I was 260 something. But by the time I got to the endocrinologist appointment, they weighed me. I was 253. So we talked about, the regimen I was on. We talked about, the medicine I was on, and he told me we would stick with those medicines and to pick up my Mounjaro and start that as well. Once I got home, after getting my Mounjaro shot that night, that was my first injection. I was on Mounjaro 2.5 milligrams. So I stayed on Mounjaro 2.5 for a month. Because of the shortage, I actually had to go up to a 5 milligram after that month was up. My endocrinologist, I of course talked to him, and he said I was okay. Because most of the time they only want you on a 2.5 for a month anyway. I went on to the 5. Now, before I went to the endocrinologist appointment, September 11th, he had asked me to go and get some more blood work drawn, which I did September 4th. By the time I got back to the doctor on 9/11, I talked to him. We discussed the blood work that had come back in, and y'all see the smile on my face when I tell you God was all up and through this, helping me figure out what kind of regimen I need to be on, helping me know that I need to walk, because by that time I was walking, as well as on my low carb diet. My A1C as of 9/4 was 8.6. So I went from a 15.1 July 3rd to a 12.6 July 29th when my doctor rechecked me to a 8.6 by September 4th. Again, that's unlikely that people A1C drop that low in that short of a time. I'm not saying it never happens, because I'm sure it has. But for me, I was excited that me doing that low carb diet, me walking, has been helping me tremendously, right? So, not only, was I doing real good with the regimen as well as the A1C and the exercising, but I had lost weight by then. Also, he told me I can get off of my insulin shots, the fast acting as well as the slow acting. And that's because I was doing so well, right? And my A1C was going down so good, as well as my glucose. So he put me on Jardiance. That was a pill that I would have to take once a day, 10 milligram, as well as, to stick with the Mounjaro, 5 milligram. So I did, and he had thought about putting me up to a 7.5, because he was like, since you're getting off the insulin, my concern is that with you going on the pill, it doesn't work as fast as the insulin. So therefore, you may need to go up to 7.5. But I said, hey, wait a minute. I just got on the 5, within the last month. And I was like, can I just stick with that 5 for one more time before I go to that 7.5? So he did put me a prescription for 7.5. But he said, if you still have some prescriptions for the 5 with the pharmacy, go ahead and take it, again, and then I'll be fine. Then go up to the 7.5. So I said, okay. So, I was very happy when I left that appointment. Couldn't wait to tell my family what was going on. Off the insulin, my A1C was was much lower, as well as I'm on my, my Jardiance pill, which he gave me some samples of, and I can stay on my, Mounjaro 5 milligram. And I lost some weight. Yeah, I was head over heels, just excited. Reason why the smile is on my face, right? It's written all over my face, y'all. So, fast forward, he wanted me to come back in December. I could not go back in December because they were booked for the month, per the receptionist. So, I talked to them, and they said, well, I can come back in January. So, I went back the mid-January. I want to say it was January 16th. But before then, of course, I had to get more blood work done. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you right now, YouTube family, by the time I got back in January, my A1C, you can guess, it was down again. It was down again. My A1C, y'all, was down. Listen close. 5.6. That's the normal range, y'all. I had gotten my A1C from dangerously high, 15.1, July 3rd, to a 5.6. I'm telling you, that low carb diet, it's been doing its thing. Kim has been doing her thing. That Mounjaro has been doing its thing. And I didn't tell you that I had actually went up to my 7.5 milligrams in December. Because remember I told you, he told me, after I went on that 5 for a little bit, I go ahead on and, titrate up to 7.5. I did that. When I did that, my sugar was dropping low. Now, the reason too why my A1C had gone down so far in September, I'm thinking, is because I was getting sugar lows with the insulin after so long. So that's another indication why he needed to go ahead and take me off that insulin. So now he told me in September that I probably would not have, any sugar lows anymore, because normally when you get on Jardiance, which is a pill, you normally don't have all those problems, or you shouldn't anyway. Should be less frequent. But honey, listen here. I had to get off Jardiance as well. So now for my A1C, Mounjaro. I call it MJ though. Honey, I am so excited. That's medicines I can get off, y'all. That's what we trying to do. We trying to get off these medicines. We ain't trying to be on these medicines. So that's why I say that MJ is MJing. But it's not just because of Mounjaro. It's because the lifestyle changes. So I'm going to let y'all know. You know what I'm saying next. Get your lifestyle changes in check. I want this same testimony for you to be able to change your lifestyles and take your medicines, and hopefully at some point you can get off the medicines. But not only is my A1C doing so well, I had high blood pressure, and my pressure, once I was taking my medicines and everything, it had gotten down to wherein, it was controlled with the medication. But I still had to take medication every single day. Well, since I've been on Mounjaro and my lifestyle has changed, with me eating better and with me walking, as well as I have incorporated strength training, with my body, as well as my with weights, my blood pressure has been in a normal range. So I was on a water pill as well as a blood pressure pill. My doctor told me I can get off the water pill, y'all. That's yet another medicine that I can strike off my list. He told me as far as the blood pressure pill, I was going to stay on a little bit longer, because he wanted me to talk to my kidney doctor and see what he had to say about that. But my water pill I could get off of, because my blood pressure had been so good. It has been under 120 over 80, which is the normal blood pressure. That made me so excited, right? I'm just so excited. I cannot stop smiling about it. And not only, now those were non-scale victories, but when it comes to my weight loss, let me let y'all in on that too. But this last Sunday, I was down from 253 July 30th to 199.8. Baby, when I say I got on that scale, I couldn't contain myself. I was so excited. 199? I have not seen 199, y'all, in 22 years. 22 years. I could not wait to get to Wonderland. But when I got on that scale Sunday, I was so excited. 199.8. Yes, ma'am. So that's my scale victory that I want to share with you all. Now, I want to tell you all also, even though I was on a very strict low carb diet, as time progressed, eventually I increased my daily macros to 75 grams of carbs. And sometimes I get a little more, sometimes I get a little less. As far as my protein is concerned, I eat between 90 grams and 120 grams. And my fiber, I get at least 25 grams per day. Now, my water intake, I get anywhere between 64 and 90 ounces. There are times, normally like during special occasions, I may decide to get, some simple carbs. Other than that, I have not really missed the simple carbs, and I'm thankful for that. And I've been doing really good. So, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and hit the notification bell so that you will be alerted when I drop the next video. Until next time, be blessed.